Hello once again and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys how I constructed and made this sew. I call it a double sew and this client ordered it in two different sizes. Personally, I find this type of sew first of all from my own perspective to be easier to make, and for the client it is actually very durable. It doesn't break off except something has pierced it, and I would recommend for this raining season. It is very strong, and just get the right one. Like I said, this client ordered for 2 pairs, so come with me on this wonderful journey to make it. Now with this type of sew, I like to reinforce with a marco, preferably this 1 mm marco. It is very flat, weightless, and very light. So I like to reinforce the upper of the sole with this marco. I basically just file around the sole, the upper, and then place it on the marco just like you're saying right now. So that is basically what I do. Next, this is the leather that I'll be using, as well as the buckles. This leather is based off the client's choice, and I'm going to be using 4 pairs of buckles. Oh, one of my buckles is missing. So I'm going to be using 4 pairs of buckles, 2 pairs for one pair and 2 pairs for the other pair. So that is it. I thought I recorded the point of making this. So these very small parts that you are seeing that I'm putting punch holes is basically what I'm going to use for the buckles. I call them buckle holders, and I actually thought I was making a video of how I made it. It's very easy, so just wait and watch to the end of the video to see how I got it. Also, I already had templates of the design I wanted to do. I just cut it out on my leather, and now I'm basically just punching holes for the buckle holders, and I use the buckle to get the sizes of these buckle holders. It is nothing really special. Anytime you're working with buckle, please always make sure that you work with the buckle size. So don't just go off doing your own thing or drawing out your own pattern. Always work with your buckle whenever you are working with buckles. So yeah, this is basically it, and I'm just going to rub very light gum on it so that it holds. And I don't know if some people don't know how to do this, but I'm also going to show you how I place these buckles in the buckle holder. Okay, now that the gum has dried, we go ahead to fix the buckles. So what you want to do is that you want to pass it through one open end and bring it out from the other. You pass it through one open end, push in the pin through the punch hole that you had made, and then bring it out from the other side. I hope this thing is focused enough. I don't know why it keeps coming out of focus, but basically, like I said, you put it in one end, pass the pin through the punch hole you made in the center, and then pass it through the other end and close up. This is very important. It is also very important at this point. That's when you will know that if you messed up with your buckle holder. And like I said, always work with your buckle sizes. If this buckle holder I made was way too small or way too big, it will obviously start to show. So I'm going to show you guys one more time. You pass it through one end and then put in the pin through the hole that you had made with your punch, and then pass it through the other end, just like that, and make it meet at the other side. Easy like that. I hope that was very helpful. I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of it like that. Basically, you pass it through one end, put the pin, that is that pin, in the middle of your buckle, pass it through the hole that you had punched in the middle of your buckle holder or leather, whatever you choose to call it, and then bring it through the other end. Okay, so all of the buckles has been fixed into the buckle holders, and this is basically how it's going to be. You have the buckle holder and you have a belt passing through it or running through it or going to hold it. So that is basically it, and this is how it is made for those that did not know. Now the next step is that I'm going to take all of these my leather pieces and put them in lining. Every piece that I had drawn out from the template. If you want a tutorial on how to draw out all of these pattern pieces, you just let me know and that will be in another video. So I'm basically using the same leather I used to get the initial template to serve as a lining, and that is based on request. This doesn't mean that what you use, your main leather, has to be your lining leather. You can use any kind of color depending on how creative you want to be or based off on your customer's order. So please go crazy, nothing is limited to you. And you basically just put it. The whole point of all of this is that we have to try to minimize our leather as much as we can. So you basically just put all of the pieces, and the next step, you can see I already filed the upper of the sole. This is the one that I am going to attach to that mako that I told you about earlier. So I have filed it. I hope you can see how it is looking. I'm trying to make the camera as focused as it can be, so you see what I mean. And I'm also going to compare it to the one that I haven't filed yet. If you look closely, you can actually spot the difference, because the one that is not filed is actually shining, like you can see, and the one that is filed is not shiny. You can see the way the thing is shiny is coming from factory, in fact. So you always have to observe, and it is very important to file. Please, it is very important to file. Okay, so I have filed everything, rubbed the gum on my mako, and also rubbed the gum on the filed sole. Please, it is very important to file, especially these foreign soles, because it makes it stick better and works well with the gum. So this is basically what I'm going to do. I just place them, beat them around with mallet, and cut it out. Okay, now that is done, I want you to see how it looks now. It just makes it very, very strong. So I advise that you do this. It gives it more, it makes it more firm and more structured. So that is basically it for the sew construction. I'm just going to file around it and smoothen it. I'd already sewed and filed and dyed the edges of the leather pieces, like you can see here. And yeah, so basically we are ready for the lasting. Next step are pins. So basically I'm just going to show you guys how to attach those buckle or buckle holders to your main piece. You can't just have them like that, you have to attach them to something. So this is the main piece, and this is where I'm going to hold the buckle. I already punched holes on all of the pieces and also the buckle holders. If there are any more questions, please just leave it in the comment section and I'll be very glad to answer every question. So I'm basically just going to attach the pins. The longer type of the pin goes, from the back of your main leather piece, and it holds the buckle. It comes out just a little bit. Personally, I like to go in with a little glue, not too much, because this glue, they can spoil your leather if you are not careful. So I just like to add very little glue to make it hold before putting the top piece. So I basically just apply very little glue, like I said, and then put the top piece on it and press down, and also go in with my plier to also press it. Now with this type of pin, there's a way when it is sitting right. It gives a kind of click, not an audible one. It's not very loud, but you feel it just click. So that is when you know that you did it right, and this is basically it. But now we have extra, like you can see from the buckle, and I'm just going to cut it out, the extra piece, so it looks smaller. Here we go. Just trim it up a little so it doesn't come and it fits the buckle size. So it's not coming out from the buckle. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It is just perfect and small. So yes, this is basically how you attach your buckle to your leather pieces, any kind. And I'm just going to go once more. You go from the back and hold both leather piece and the buckle holder together with the first main one side of the pin, and then personally I add a little glue, just a little, and then cover it up as you can see, and then go in with the plier and wait for that click. So that is when you know that it is sitting right. You can just give it one more try again just for good measures, but if you hear or if you can feel the click, then it is sitting right. Then you can trim off whatever excess that is left. There is no real measurement for this thing. I personally like to have an excess so I can cut it to my desirable size. And here we go. Okay, now into the last thing. Honestly, the angle of this camera was very bad, and I did not know on time. My apologies, but basically this is the lasting process. Okay, so we are completely done with the last thing, and also the way you file the upper of the sew is the way you are going to file this bottom. And for some people that don't know how to manipulate it with the filing machine, you can use a drill bit or a drill mill, because sometimes the edges would still be the machine cannot touch the edges. Personally, I use a filing machine because I know how to, but I still have these shiny spots on the sew, so I just go in with a sharp knife or a scissors and just roughing those parts. So you can see no more shiny spots there, and these ones that are here, I just go again, so you see how it turns out. You can also use a small piece of sandpaper. You can attach it. Oh, as you can see, it's no longer there. It is very, this edge is, look, I can't overemphasize the need for you to file your sews properly, especially these edges, so that when you apply gum, it stays well, it sticks properly. That is one way to get the most use out of your contact adhesive that you are using, whatever kind. So make sure that whatever you want to glue or gum is properly filed. So that is basically it. So that is it. Thank you for watching. Any questions that you may have, please leave it in the comment section. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.